Last time on Dice Funk.
I'm so ready for this. Come on.
All right, it's high noon.
Uh-huh.
On 3?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Well, what if, like, that plant you gave Dio, like, heals Dio?
Oh, maybe have some tendrils off it start growing down to sort of pull things together and try and mend bits of damage.
You know what I think? Tendrils shoot down from the plant to where there's damage and just fill up the cracks.
Like, wait, do people, like, just, like, see, like a robot with, like, plant material and are like, oh, that's Red, that's Red's mark? Okay, cool.
In the Wild West, if a dude showed up who had a bullet hole in him...
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
And was bleeding to death because he'd lost a jewel.
They were able to keep it from Vimble?
Yeah, you were the only one who had a bad roll. I think, Xana, you heard this in your social circles, which was that other people had been sent up to the new world, like a team very much like yours, and like hadn't come back and hadn't been heard from. And
I think Juniper knows about this because Juniper had been trying to get on whatever the previous trips up here were, like...
Professor Red, are you, how are we feeling about this, you starting your own university here?
You lost home, gang, so I don't think I'm going to throw my lot in with you forever, but if you can give me a cushy job after your success, I could ride a ways with you, introduce you to the settlers in the jungle if there are any left. Once again, tipping her hat in the direction of the foliage behind you.
I, like, switched bodies with this little pink thing. And I look even better than I thought I did because I got to see myself through the hamster's eyes. But also, like, oh my god, this is my buddy.
I can at least find out whether the trees here have roots or not. Sure, let's do this.
If there's anyone in trouble down there, we have to help them.
As your voices echo in the stairwell, growing quieter as you descend down into the depths, back in the jungle, there's just the distant squeaks of ham sex and the snapping of branches as creatures move about. And then after a moment, it begins to rain upward as water pulls itself up out of the ground and drop by drop falls into the sky.
I saw a spark against the dark and we erupt. But it's a slow burn. We take our chance and start to dance. Can see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down. But we're a bonfire, we keep putting in.
I think any guy who's trying to tell you how much money he has, it fundamentally comes down to the same thing as unsolicited dick pics, right? When someone sends an unsolicited dick pic, they are saying that they think that all that matters to sex is how big their dick is, and therefore they're necessarily advertising that they can't fuck. Like, sending a dick pic, an unsolicited dick pic is like, hello, I don't know how to fuck. And I feel like money is the same thing.
Yeah, because you can always tell when a penis haver has a big penis. You can just sense it. They don't need to tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's just like how it affects the way they like walk, right? It's like they're gained.
No, it just affects, like, they have an air of confidence, and you're like, where is it coming from? And you're like, it's right there.
It's the difference between I've got big confidence and I need a measurable thing that says I'm this many good.
I got sent a picture by a guy one time who was like hung and he was good looking, and I was just like, that's a shame that you're doing that. Like, you don't need to do that, you know? Like, you're like a good looking guy. You're just like underselling yourself, necessarily shutting yourself up to so many people.
That's why you gotta under-promise and over-deliver. You just be like, my dick is terrible, I'm ugly, I'm poor, I'm sorry. And then if you even sling like a 5 out of 10 dick, they're like, oh, wow, it could have been worse. It's like...
Well, I mean, that's a good strat then for the finance bro, because then if he's throwing the money around, he's kind of signaling like, I'm doing this to make up for what is obviously a terrible dick, like just an F tier
Giant
dick.
penis, actually.
And then, well, no, that's what I'm saying, right? Then it turns around, right? Positive surprise.
Yeah, actually, I was expecting nothing, but there was a lot.
Exactly. There you go. See, it worked out. It worked out for him.
This guy has a lot of mind games that I wasn't aware of. I also think he's pretending to like Star Wars.
Gotta hate those
gambit.
fake nerd boys pretending to hate Star Wars.
He's pretending to like it. I don't know why.
That's what I mean. Yeah, pretending to like Star Wars. It's because he's one of the fake nerd boys trying to be hot by liking nerd stuff.
Classic
Fucking
fake
fake
Game
nerd
Boy.
boys.
Classic.
But he was like, here, I got a Star Wars shirt. Check it out. But it was from Zara. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's
yeah.
not like really the real way to get a Star Wars shirt, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know.
Periodically, I reinstall Grindr and just to like swipe around and see just people, you know, because like people are just kind of funny looking. And whenever I do, I get a ton of unsolicited dick pics. But one time I got an unsolicited whole pic, and that's nuts to me. Like that's pretty wild. That's a pretty like.
Of the butthole?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would assume that's like, you know, put it there. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it was just strange to me as a woman on a gay men's dating app for a guy to then send me whole.
It's a high level confidence opening move.
I mean, I will say I respected that the guy he knew what he was about.
He just wanted to, give a sniff or something. I don't know.
If you want to hear more of these dating app stories, I highly recommend this month's credits for the show we're all on currently, where my partner Joa and her friend Nicole talk about some of the really wild stuff. There's a story about a man, his grandma, and a live chicken that's not to be missed. Perfect segue.
Oh my God.
Because you can get on the credits show if you go to patreon.com/AustinYorski. That's also my name, coincidentally enough.
That's wild that it worked out that way.
It's really lucky. If it had been like patreon.com/Jordan Smith, it'd have been like, oh fuck, how are they ever gonna find this?
Yeah.
But for just $5 a month, someone will read your name and make a fun joke about it. It's usually Joa. It could be former cast members like Lauren Morgan, Sophie. You've been on the credits. It's a good time. We don't talk about it enough.
I have. I like being on the credits. I'm actually a fan of the credits because after I joined last season, I started re-listening. And yeah, the credits were a big positive feature for me. I was really enjoying them. And then when Joa invited me to be on, I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Real heads know that that's where a lot of the great running jokes come from. It's just its own experience. There's like storylines running through it. It's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, you've not lived until you've discovered that there are people who make their entire Patreon name specifically so that it can be references to new lore about Austin. Like, that's a whole thing.
It's incredible. But yeah, that's me, Austin Yorski, introducing myself this week. If I sound a little different, just had mouth surgery. It should be fine. I don't know if I can be as animated this week. I don't want to bust my stitches. But otherwise, feeling great. Thank you, everyone, for your support. A life-changing outpouring from everyone out in the audience and here on the call, and I cannot thank you enough. It's not really funny to say. Sorry about the comedy podcast starting with me being genuinely appreciative.
I'm very glad you still have a face, Austin. It's very useful for podcasting.
So, like, you were almost gonna not have a face?
Long story short, I had bad jaw infection. It could have spread. It was almost to my sinuses. And at a certain point, they just got to start surgifying you. I don't want to get into the gore. I know that's upsetting.
I do.
I know. I'll let you know later.
That's really inconsiderate of you not to get into the gore.
May I make a point in that, you almost lost half your face, and then your girlfriend would have left you. But if you had already married her, she wouldn't be able to leave if you lost half your face. So I'm just putting that out there for a little bit of
I think it's a
pressure.
great point.
Heterosexual pressure.
That's a great energy to put into the relationship.
Because statistically, if men get sick and shit, their wives won't leave. Their girlfriends will, but their wives won't leave. On the other hand, if a woman gets sick, her husband is much more likely to leave. So I'm just saying, look at the stats.
I just feel like giving Austin, trying to give Austin insecurities right now about his relationship when he's medically incapable of eating the pussy. That's mean. I just think that's mean.
I'm sorry. Is that too mean?
As if that would stop me. Oh my god, I do have to tell a quick funny story about the whole experience, because I've been going to the dentist like every week since like Christmas, getting x-rays and checkups and stuff. And so every time I'd go in there, I'd sit down, a doctor would come in, she would look at my mouth or whatever, tap my jaw and be like, huh, good bone. And then she would leave, like I gotta go check on some paperwork. A different doctor would come in, check my mouth, and be like, wow, great bone. And then she would leave. And then for like weeks, all these different doctors and dentists would come in and like look at my mouth, and they'd be like, awesome bone.
What the fuck dentist office are you going to?
She's got a good bone, Austin.
Well, I mean, literally what they're saying is that like the infection hasn't spread so much that it's compromised the jawbone and now needs to be removed.
That's
So like,
not what they're saying.
Austin, we don't need to know the specifics. We just need to know you've got a good bone.
everyone just kept saying like variations of like incredible bone. And in my head I was just started building this narrative. You can tell I'm DM poisoned. I was like, this is a coven of bone witches, and they're all scoping my bones. And as soon as they have me under, they're gonna harvest my bones.
That's such a funny reaction to have while clearly being on a porn site.
Anyway, this is how Austin ended up writing Suspiria 2.
All right, someone else introduce themselves.
I'm Laura. I'm at Laura K. Buzz everywhere. I do books and podcasts and videos about accessibility in video games. And I play Juniper, who's a rabbit, who's a druid, who's a bit of a hippie. That's me. There you go. Nice succinct one today.
Geek Remix, doing stuff. Well, right now, my streaming partner is having a little bit of a chronic illness, just a touch of it. And so nowhere. Twitter, making jokes. Geek Remix. I don't know, send me dick pics or something. I'm bored.
Isn't that against your express wishes on other? Never mind, it's fine. You live your life however you want to.
Actually, you know what? I don't. Well, oops.
Okay.
No. An upskirt. Send me upskirts.
Oh my god.
Mari, what character do you play this season?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
I'm playing Xana. I'm a cheerleader who's on permanent detention, and I was blamed for things I didn't do.
Definitely didn't do. Definitely not.
I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anybody. I didn't do anything.
I mean, I think that's awesome that you didn't do anything.
Thank you. I think I'm being punished for something I didn't do. I'm innocent.
Yeah, not doing things is super chill.
Thank you.
That's what all the cool kids are up to.
It is. Thanks.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Sam. My name's Sam. I'm a YouTuber. I run a YouTube channel called We're in Hell, where I talk about like sociology and trash culture. And yeah, I don't know when this will be coming out, but I'm making a video. This video will probably be out by the time this episode's out. But I'm making a thing about like a terrible reality show about entrepreneurs and talking about the idea of entrepreneurs in society and shit. And I'm playing Vimble Berrycheek Kalthinian IV, aka Dark Justice, and yeah. That's all it's about me.
I'm Sophie. I'm Sophie from Mars on all the platforms. Check out my Patreon. It's the hub of all the stuff I do. Politics, video essays, video games, streaming. I'm a gay woman. I play Dio, and they are Dio. Let's play the game.
What was the cliffhanger last time?
I don't know that it was a cliffhanger so much. You were walking through a jungle biome. You came upon a structure that was just kind of a strange rock formation in the ground with stairs leading down into the ground, but you had been led to believe that there was another team of researchers who came here before you who have gone missing, and so you started going down the stairs.
And then the rain went upwards.
So what are you all talking about as you descend down into the darkness? Because there's this staircase here into the ground. There's no lights, so you're pretty much plunged into total blackness, and you're all just climbing downstairs carefully. What's the conversation like here?
So I was kind of completely wrong, but also kind of right. Cool little house in the woods. I was picturing up in the trees, we're down in the ground, but that's where the roots are. It's still part of the tree. Down in the roots, that's a tree house, right?
Yeah, it's a nega tree house.
It's a tree bungalow.
Yeah, tree thank you. A tree basement, a tree bungalow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tree basement apartment, like people down here, like one day, they're like, they're just starting out. It's like, it's a bit depressing,
This is the sublet you'd get. Like, there'd be someone living in the tree and someone living in the branches of the tree.
There's no windows. The ceiling isn't even, like, high enough for you to hang yourself. It's a bleak place to live.
What is a sublet?
A terrible byproduct of capitalism.
What is capitalism?
You don't need to know about it. It's terrible. There's none of it up here yet.
You are a product and also a slave to it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
I think it's great.
We're going to give Dio depression. Imagine if you were just born and that was like one of the first things you learned about.
So what do we see as we go down into this facility? Is because for some reason I'm picturing this being I'm picturing metal and like technology, and I don't know why I'm picturing that, and therefore I'm going to ask for a mental picture.
Yeah, so it's really dark here. Who actually has dark vision? Most characters in D&D do.
I do.
This guy.
I think we all probably do. We always end up doing it.
I don't think I do this time.
My beautiful, perfect orbs.
Everyone who does not have dark vision, please wisdom saving throw to navigate in the darkness with no light and not trip over your limbs.
I can be wise.
15.
7.
And I'm going to roll for Red, who's at the back of the group. 17. That's good. So the only person here who trips is Juniper. You are pretty small, though, so you don't create like a domino situation, which is what I was hoping Red was going to do to you all. But she keeps her feet. You trip in the darkness. You feel the wall. You like reach out instinctively, and it is dirt. It's just like soil, and when you fall, you hit the stairs, and it also, you're wearing shoes, so maybe you didn't feel the texture right away. The stairs themselves also have an earthen quality, not quite like brick, but some kind of earthwork. And you go falling. I'm just gonna roll D4 for damage for your trip. Not bad. I got just one, just scrapes.
Okay.
But you fall in this staircase here, and you feel the ground, you feel the stairs. Everything is pretty earthen. It's just not metal or technology.
Kind of like a little carved burrow, as it were.
Junie, do you want me to carry you?
I think I'm...
Your eyes are like really terrible, so...
just
saying.
They're very focused on movement, and that sucks in the dark. I think I'm alright.
Okay, but you did just fall on your face.
I did. But like I'm quite low.
Okay,
look,
bye.
I'm quite low to the ground. There's not far from my face to go. It's fine.
I feel like I'm going to be Googling rabbit facts a lot this season. Rabbits are not nocturnal. Rabbits are crepuscular, which means they are active during twilight, dusk, and dawn.
Indeed. They like to be up and about when there's not prey. And hide away at night from the nocturnal prey.
They're always around when there's prey. Because
yeah.
they're the prey.
The predator, yeah. They're in the in-between hours when nothing's hunting. That's their time.
I would like to propose a different theory that those are the cutest times of day to be active.
If I could live my entire life in the golden hour where there's the nice sun and all the selfies look good, I'd live my life in that.
Appearing and disappearing like an Instagram banshee.
Yeah.
The Instagram Banshee does need to be a character in the show at some point. I'm so glad we've determined the cutest time of day as well. We're accomplishing a lot. So you all make it to the bottom of these earthen stairs. Only Juniper gets scraped up. You see a little better now, Juniper, because there are what appears to be some bioluminescent mushrooms down here on the walls, almost like torches with some regularity. So you are no longer not able to see. But you find yourself in some kind of antechamber. The walls are once again earth, the floor earth, the ceiling earth, and it's much bigger than it should be. Like, people have only been up here for a little bit. You don't know how they've built anything like this. It's all very strange. I don't know if you're gonna roll something, but like the first settlement you saw when you came to the New World was like a rough timber built cabins, and someone here has built some kind of underground structure. It's very concerning.
I mean, my first thought, and I don't know if there's a roll I could do to see if I'm on the right track here, is, does time not work consistently up here? Like, have areas of here had more time than others?
Yeah, we're talking about time. I guess I want to say Arcana. Because magic is going to be what governs time distortion. So
I'm not good at that, but let's see what I get. 12, above average.
With a slightly above average roll, you don't think this is a result of any kind of like recent magic. In the sense, the whole New World is magic just because it was formed by gods. So like, I'm not saying no magic was involved, but it's not like a wizard did this recently. Everything looks pretty natural, and so far as there's like roots coming down through the ceiling, and everything isn't like super uniform. It's like, messy in the way that nature is. So there's like knots in the stairs, and there's divots in the floor and so forth. So I would say you're pretty sure that there's no time magic. I'll be definitive about that. That your hypothesis has been disproven.
Hooray! There we go. I'm out of ideas. Everyone else, it's your turn.
Dio is observing something that they've never seen before. A space lower than the ground. And they say, so, like, how far down does it go?
I mean, we're very new to this one. We don't know how far down this one goes.
Can I investigate to figure out how far down it goes?
Absolutely.
All right.
7.
Oh, fuck. 7. Damn.
So terrible with a 7. You start walking around this chamber. It ends on the other side with a big door, which seems to be closed. There isn't any obvious handle. There are some like pictures on it, but like whatever, who cares? And then those pictures aren't your problem. And you start looking around, and it's just like a big empty earthen basement. And you're like, well, no one's here. This sucks. Fuck this. Eat my ass. I'm out.
Vimble's doing very badly today. Or for the last.
Yeah, but it's kind of in character. It's fun.
No, I think it's good. It's just he's not having a good one.
So Vimble, your investigation check doesn't yield anything useful, but the rest of the party can walk up and see this big door on the other side. It's like twice as tall as Red, who is a cyclops. So it's a very big door, and on it there seems to be some kind of pictures. There's these figures. Do any of you speak Celestial?
Oh, I think I do.
I do.
Ah, fuck. Wait, hold on. Where do I look?
I speak Abyssal, Common, Giant, and Primordial. And I'm assuming this isn't the kind of thing where, like, if you know a bit of Primordial, you basically know Celestial.
I mean, I'm a little upset about this, Austin, because when I was building the character, I specifically asked you what would be the least useful language for him to know.
Look, just because it's the first one that's been asked about doesn't mean it will be useful ongoing.
Yeah, there actually are language families in D&D. I believe Giant and Dwarf are related, but this is not one of those cases.
Oh, damn it. I only know Abyssal. Never mind.
I feel like Abyssal and Celestial are like British Sign Language and American Sign Language in that you'd imagine they'd have a lot of overlap, but they are completely different and couldn't be more different.
That tracks.
Actually, you know what? Now that I've said this out loud, I have the power to retcon this and say it's actually in Primordial. Fuck you, Vimble.
Great. I have that language. Austin, did you know I have that one?
I do. Actually, this actually does make more sense. I've given it some thought. I'm on some painkillers right now, so stuff might get weird. But it is in the
By
Terran.
weird, you mean bullying.
It is in the Terran dialect of Primordial, which Dio, for reasons even you don't know, you speak.
Absolutely.
And these pictures are labeled. I don't know if you say this out loud, if you just look at them and you just, you're Dio, and you're just like, I'm Dio, and then just go on with your life.
I am Dio is the thing. What are the pictures pictures of?
They appear to be people and monsters of some kind. I think you would need to roll history to describe them, more accurately.
I refuse to. I have no history.
Oh wow!
What does the label say?
They appear to be names.
Anyone have any idea what the deal is with these? Prompting anyone who might be able to read them.
Yeah, can I read them?
Do you know what reading is? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can read it, but you don't even know what the concept is.
Yeah. So just to clarify something about Dio. Dio is like someone experiencing amnesia in that their skills are intact, even if they don't remember like their chronology.
Okay.
They don't know anything about anything, which is more extreme than people with amnesia. But they can read a language.
Because the alternative is we have to rebuild you ontologically. Like, you have to be taught meaning and semiotics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, hey, thanks for rescuing me from the warehouse. Can we just talk about epistemology for one second?
Oh, you just love that.
Honestly, this is how the podcast becomes just me and Austin.
Does Dio acknowledge being able to read those names?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there are three main pictures, and they have three labels. The labels are Gaia, Hallis, and Sylvanus.
Windrunner? I caught it. I know what you just did. Simp.
Okay. So I point to each picture. Well, I don't really point to the picture. I point to the label, I guess, and say Gaeas, Sylvanus, Hallis.
So we're saying that Dio has no history knowledge whatsoever. I suppose can the rest of us roll history to see if any of us have any awareness or knowledge of these names?
Absolutely.
19.
Vimble, finally.
Yeah.
So Dio, you're making a choice not to roll history, just out of principle, correct?
Yes. I don't know history.
I just want to get that on the record. I think it's a good character choice. So the whole group rolls above average, but only one breaks 15, so you only get an average amount of information. Vimble, you're trained in the classics. Your family owns the university, so I think you can rally off the very basic facts. Gaia is the primordial Earth. The what is known as the protogenoi, like the Titans, the oldest, mythological figures. And you think the other two are gods of some sort, but they're more obscure. So these are all religious figures of some sort, and you can see this. There's this big mural on the door of them. Gaia is just a giant earthen monster from your perspective, not very humanoid. The other ones are progressively more humanoid. The one labeled Sylvanus has animal and plant features, but the one labeled Hallis just looks like a guy.
Just a dude.
Yeah, probably like an elf. Relatively. So
can I explain a bunch of this, but also half of what I'm saying is in fluent celestial, I don't know, my understanding of it is knowing celestial is being fluent in Latin.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. So you're saying you're doing the saying medica morbo aut hebere.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a very obnoxious legal scholar.
Yeah.
Who is using all the proper Latin terms for everything. But
And like that's why like we don't have more information because like I can't explain it in any way that isn't in like
Well, I would
in
offer I would offer the possibility you know the phrase that you say in Celestial, but
You don't know what it means.
you don't know what it means really.
You've memorized
And
that's
yeah,
what
that's
you're
good, that's
supposed
good.
to say.
if pressed on it, you're like, no, it's just we don't really have a word for it in our language.
ipso facto e pluribus unum.
I mean, I don't know, maybe not. I do like the idea of him like actually just like fully speaking like language that is like not useful at all.
I'm gonna make this dream come true for you, buddy.
There's
Okay, yeah,
nothing
perfect.
more pointlessly rich academic than speaking a language that's useless.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, big door, 3 murals labeled. You understand the religious figures. Only one you understand very well, Gaia. What do you do? There's this big door. Remember that Vimble failed his investigation check. So if it feels like something's missing, that's why.
I want to get the vibe.
You want to get the vibe.
Yeah.
You mean insight? Is that what that means?
Insight's the vibe roll.
Well, okay. 18.
Wow, that's very good. Yeah, I guess what you'll insight here, how I will interpret this is you're trying to get an insight on the mindset of whoever put this door here, which is that these murals are essentially a locking mechanism. It's a puzzle in the Dungeons and Dragons sense, a thing we have almost never done in this entire show.
You're giving us a locked door where we have to solve a puzzle. Should I be drawing a little map of this and like plotting out the room on graph paper?
Oh, I'm so excited.
But also, it doesn't seem like a particularly hard puzzle. It not only because it's not super fun to do a half-hour Resident Evil puzzle with your buddies, but just because.
Oh, get ready for the end game of Rolling with Rainbows Season 1. I have built an entire mansion. I've made the Spencer mansion in the game.
Austin, don't lie to us as well. It's very clearly because you don't trust us to solve Resident Evil Mansion on the show, and I appreciate that. I get it.
If the roll had been very bad, I maybe wouldn't say this, but with an 18, I will say you get the sense that it's because its function is like ceremonial or perfunctory. It's not actually to keep you out. It's more of like an observance of something. And you also get the idea that these 3 murals can like rotate in such a way as to reveal it's a pinwheel of 3 images, and if you spin it, it reveals them, each one as like a combination lock, and you can put them in a certain order.
Just a little bit of security theater.
So I know this from getting the vibe. So I want to spin a wheel.
Yeah, so if you walk up to the first mural, you touch it, you realize that the thing can spin. This is what Vimble failed on the investigation check. You turn it, and like the Gaia mural like goes into the door, and as it spins, it reveals another Hallis mural, and if you spin it, it reveals another Sylvanas mural. And so there are like 3 options for each of the 3 sections, and they need to be in some kind of order.
Oops, all Gaeas. I'm thinking no joke, I'm thinking if we put all 3 in the same one, maybe it'll reveal one room, and if you put all 3 of them on the next one, it'll reveal that room or something.
I just do want to understand it better first. So to be clear, the pictures are separate to the door, and then the murals on the door are the locking mechanism, or that's like all there is the lock.
Yeah, so I was picturing this. I think there's like an Uncharted game where I may have absorbed this from, but it's like there are 3 pictures, but each picture can spin in such a way as to be a different picture.
So it's the Skyrim puzzle.
It's been 10 years since I played Skyrim. Maybe that's also it's been I played it on launch and not since. So, but yeah.
I mean, well, we know like the like alphabetical order of them, right? Or like the whatever. So like, should we just try putting them into like the proper order?
Yeah, I said they were in alphabetical when you arrived.
Oh, okay.
So, just Juniper, You suggest 3 Gaeas. You try 3 Gaeas. Nothing happens. But an interesting first guess.
All right, so what is Hollis again? Who are they?
You would need to roll religion, which no one has done to know the answer to that question.
Oh, this is different from us just Googling it.
They might be different things in our setting as opposed to what they were in original mythology.
Oh, I was like, maybe they each represent something because Gaia's Earth and the other guy.
I had a thought, but I'm going to roll religion first. 16.
I am not rolling religion because in this case, I don't know what that is.
I'm your religion, remember?
Oh.
Yeah, when you were born, I said I'm the most important thing in the world. I'm your god.
So I rolled a 16 on religion. Do I know anything?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 2 minus 1, 1, so I'm not going to penalize you as if it was a botch. But yeah, that's bad. The group fails their religion check, so you don't get any more than Vimble told you vis-a-vis Gaia, who, yes, is the Earth protogenoi.
Okay, so you said that there's one that looks like the sort of Earth progenitor. Which one was the middle one that... Because the last one was sort of like very humanoid, sort of like an elf.
Yeah, Sylvanus is just a dude, right? But Hallis is animals?
No, Sylvanus is a satyr-esque, has like some goatish and plantish figures.
Because my instinct is we go Earth progenitor, satyr, elf... in that we're going in sort of like creator that creates the smaller creator that creates the smaller creator. Like this is some sort of descending hierarchy of gods that came, that happened.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely think that could, yeah, I like that.
From downtown, Laura Full Court Swish not only gets the correct answer, but also the reason that's the correct answer.
Yay!
3 points. Nothing but net. Click, the giant doors unlock and swing open. Juniper, how shit-eating is your grin?
I mean, look, how shit-eating is the grin of any academic who's ever been like, aha, I worked it out and none of you did. Haha. It's a little bit shit-eating.
Mm-hmm. So you see a long corridor, once again lined with bioluminescent mushrooms, and so you can see clearly there. It's just this hallway into another chamber. There appears to be something in there. I guess you could roll perception, or you could just walk.
I take one of the mushrooms and put it on my head, and then I take a small one and put it on my hamster's head.
I rolled a 20 in perception.
Incredible. While Xana is decorating yourself and your ham sect, Vimble, you use your special eyes to look ahead, check, I will say, with your 20. Not only are there no traps, but you get a good look at the next room, and it seems to be filled with dirt. Not in the way that the last chamber had a dirt floor, but like there are mounds of soil. There's dark, like rich earth. There's like sand from a beach. There appears to be like what is like poor quality farming soil. There's just like piles of it and all over the place. Like someone, backed up a bunch of dump trucks. You don't know what dump trucks are, but this chamber is very large. It is cavernous.
Gross.
But in a way that a traditional D&D dungeon might be filled with like treasure and like coins. There's dirt.
Do you guys want to do mushroom hats? Look at it. It's cute.
I already have a leaf hat.
Okay.
I mean, Juniper does want a mushroom hat.
Yeah, everyone get that mushroom hat. It's trending.
Okay, yeah, no, Juniper is now wearing a mushroom as a hat. It's adorable.
Ooh, and it glows.
This is great. So you all are putting on your little mushroom hats. I will say with a it wasn't a crit. Your perception 20.
No. It was an 18 with plus.
Correct. 2. But I'll give you a little bit more, which is that there are footprints in the soil, which tell you that you were not the first people down here. So you can definitely see there's like a trail where people walked in, relatively recently. So that is something to be aware of.
You said that there are sort of mounds of soft dirt as opposed to, like, solidly built dirt walls that are much more compacted. Is there any sense that this is like, oh, this is as far as the digging got? Like, this is still being dug out room, maybe?
No. As you walk down the hallway with all your glowing mushroom hats and you into what I'll just call the dirt room, the sense you get is not that these are being dug out. It's that they're being maybe stored here, or they're like in the same way that the door lock was like sort of ceremonial, that these have some kind of maybe symbolic significance. There's just like every kind of dirt that you can imagine. There's like really fine grained dirt. There's like really full of rocks dirt. There's roots hanging down through like the ceiling, much thicker now. This seems to be some kind of chamber dedicated to Earth in some way. And I mean, I could make you roll for this, but I'll say, like, if you remember the pictures on the door, you don't know that much about Sylvanus and Hallis, but Gaia, primordial deity of Earth.
Oh, so the next one's gonna be filled with like faunas, and then the other one's gonna be filled with elves.
Dio starts digging in the dirt, scraping with the hands.
All right. Why don't you roll me a dexterity check?
Great. And they're going, we can find out how far down it goes. 19. It was a crit, but it was -1.
I mean, a crit is a crit. So here's what happens. You all walk into this room. You see the footsteps in the dirt. You're checking out all the other dirt. And a notable thing is that if there are doors in this room, you can't see them just because of how much dirt is in here. Like it goes on for a while. There's people say Americans can only measure things in football fields, but I have to be honest with everyone that I was thinking this is like the size of a football field with every kind of dirt in it.
Of course you were. You're a nerd. Sorry, you're a jock. You're a jock. You're a sport nerd.
But you start digging, Dio, and something comes up through the dirt towards you, as if to grab you.
I fucking knew it.
You crit though, so not only do you pull out of the way fast enough, you like do almost like a backflip away, and you catch your feet flawlessly.
I'm gonna just have to start stating what Sophie understands separately to what Dio understands, because I knew there was something in the dirt. There were dudes of some kind inside the dirt. I fucking knew it. Anyway, yeah, I dodge.
Dirt dudes. I should have known.
You dodge, and because you crit, I will let you do something before we roll initiative. Because what came out, you catch a glimpse of some kind of cloak. There's like a purple cloak, and you see there's a hat of whatever this thing is wearing, this person or thing. So it seems humanoid. It's not like a mole that attacked you. But whatever it is, it sinks back into the dirt and is covered again. But it's still here, obviously. What do you do?
Something that happens, Dio doesn't consciously do it, is that when they recoil suddenly as this is happening, a purple light the same color as their crystal traces over their whole body. And that is them experiencing protection from good and evil. They don't know that. Dramatic irony. Yeah. But yeah, they're basically something like a failsafe kicked in for them, and protection from good and evil just activated.
All right, yeah, we can read that to the audience. Until the spell ends, a willing creature you touch, yourself, is protected against certain types of creatures. And then there's a list of these creatures. Creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target, you, and they can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. So that's really good. Let's roll initiative, because whatever is in this dirt room does not seem friendly.
12.
Also 12. So I like to copy or...
You're doing mirroring so that you can then sort of lead me into actions, because, that's how you do.
Yeah. That's how you manipulate people.
Yeah.
I had to learn that because I'm just bad at socializing.
Okay, well, whichever one of you wants to go first, you can decide that amongst yourselves. Vimble, you're up first. You see something in a purple cloak and purple hat tried to grab Dio. What do you do?
Sorry, where are we in this moment? Is it still there, or did it go back into the dirt now?
It appears to have been it's been covered by dirt again. It is lurking.
I'm gonna use my turn to be a spotter, and I roll a 17.
Perfect. So there is movement under the dirt, and you say to everyone, like, over there, and you can throw a dart to mark. Where
Okay.
it doesn't get enough penetration to do damage, but everyone, until the things turn, or everyone will be able to get something out of this.
Honestly, you read my frickin' mind. Yeah, I'm throwing a dart.
So
What a surprise.
it is now enemy's turn. So the dart hits an area that was moving, and everyone like turns and looks at that. And then suddenly, one of the big piles of dirt full of stones behind you, Vimble, mud slides down on top of you. Strength saving throw, not to be buried.
Oh no.
To clarify it, because I said I'd clarify it, I think Sophie knows what's going on right
I
now.
got a 4.
Dio doesn't, obviously, but I think Sophie
This
knows
is the
what we're
eternal
fighting.
curse you will face when playing characters that don't know things about the world. You will at some point just have to just be like,
This is just my new policy. I'm just going to say, Sophie knows this, Dio doesn't know this. That's always going to be the way around it is. Mm-hmm. It would be very strange if I was like, I don't know what it is, but Dio does.
I mean, that's every time you roll a good history check, that's what happens. It's like, my character knows that. I don't, but my character knows.
I rolled a 4 strength saving throw.
All right, you fail. The entire pile of dirt falls over on you. You take 3 as you are buried and sharp rocks hit you.
That is 3/4 of my health.
Yep, some level 1 ass characters.
Oh, shit.
Xana, it's your turn. You know where the thing that tried to grab Dio is, although you don't know how it made, or if it made, that mudslide happen. Interesting.
I keep wanting to help other people, and then I'm like, no, your character's a piece of shit. Like,
This is a real role-playing challenge. Sophie has to not pretend to not be a genius, and you have to pretend to be a piece of shit.
hey, thanks for saying I'm not a piece of shit.
Thanks for saying I'm a genius.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
You can do nice things, you just have to do them for selfish reasons. Like, I'll be nice to you because then you'll be around to save my life later. That's a selfish motivation. You still get to do a nice thing.
Well, my motivation for when I'm nice is that you all belong to me in my head.
Yeah, you gotta protect your property.
Yeah. So, like,
Oh, well.
I can be mean to you, but if anyone else tried to gaslight you, I would kill them. Only I can do that.
Well,
Let me think. I use vicious mockery, and I'm like, ew, it's so weird and gross that you're like crawling around in the dirt. Like, what are you even doing? Can you be normal for like 1 second and stand up?
All right. Vicious Mockery, I believe, is a charisma save.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Ooh, okay. That I was really hoping it was charisma for statistical reasons. All right. Let's see. 15. Still a good roll.
I mean, how smart can it be if it lives in dirt?
you're just joining in on the mockery.
That's what you hear, like coming from underneath the rubble.
Things that live in dirt, I guess, are dumb. I'm just finding this out now, but it's true.
All right. Your Vicious Mockery does not inflict any damage on the thing.
What about emotional damage?
We'll have an aftercare session after this combat, and we'll figure that out.
Fab.
It's important.
So is it Juniper's turn now?
Yep.
So this thing's in the ground. Seems like a perfect time for Earth Tremor.
Oh, no.
Do a nice little 10-foot radius.
Laura, we're in the ground. We're in the ground.
I'm very in the ground and about to die.
Yeah, but I'm suggesting the bit of ground below us as opposed to the bit of ground around us. Can I target just the bit of ground under?
You know what? Magic.
Because I feel like it's going to do them more damage than us if we shake the ground just like a little bit.
If it does Vimble any damage, he will die.
Nobody is currently in melee combat, so you're actually fine. I'm going to do a dex save. 15 again.
So even if I don't get to do the damage and knock them prone, I can at least make it more difficult for them to move about in the earth.
Yeah, so what we'll say is that you collapse another pile down onto the enemy, and they're not going to be able to escape from Vimble's marking of them this round. So basically, you extend what Vimble did, and you're not going to lose the creature.
Yeah, they can't get away from that position because the Earth's shifted weirdly a little bit.
Dio, your turn.
Dio blasts him.
Okay.
Dio's gonna blast into the ground where the thing went.
Yeah.
11.
Yep, that actually does hit.
2 damage. 2 whole entire damages. 1
right.
and 2, count them.
So you glow purple, you hold your arm out, and just a force wave shoots out into the ground, and whatever is down there does feel it, but not over much. At the end of the order, red's going to fire into the ground. 18. 11 damage, more than everyone else combined.
We're just doing some like clown ass shit, and then Red just like murks them immediately.
Yeah, I mean, you do get this is the benefit you get for using your background feature on her is she's helping. So that's the payoff for your character building ability. So she fires into the ground.
That sure is powerful. It really would be stupid to fight her, huh?
But at the end of the order, something else happens. A legendary action. You need to make. Oh, this is very interesting. So here's how this works. You're all standing around this loose earth, firing and beams and bolts and so forth at the ground where you think this thing is, and then from behind Dio, several tendrils come up out of the ground and start to wrap around you. But then that shield that you cast, the protection spell, protection from evil and good, repels the tendrils. These are like thin, like slimy yellow tendrils that come up out of the soil and try to get a hold on you, and suddenly they
I know exactly what this is.
they flinch.
Fuck yeah.
They flinch back and then suck back into the loose dirt, apparently trying to have done something to you that your spell wards. So very interesting. Yeah, you're operating on another level of character knowledge, and I love that for you. It's great. Vimble, you can pull yourself out of the mountain, the little avalanche here, the mini lanch, with your move action, and just have a normal turn. What's up?
I feel like I'm probably best served by hiding right now.
Oh, Vimble, that's so unlike you and surprising and shocking.
Well, if you are in concealment, that will give you advantage on your attacks, which will proc your stealth, your sneak attack, which is literally the purpose of your character. So, not a terrible idea, although that can also be accomplished by someone else getting into melee with the enemy. So if you want to use your turn to hide, the hide action is a legitimate, real 5th edition choice. So knock yourself out.
But I mean, like, well, also, well, wait, is anyone in melee right now with like the enemy? Like, is Red or like
nope.
Dio?
Everyone did range spell casting.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, I'll definitely I'll definitely get into stealth here, or I'm gonna try to. 23.
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, the whole party besides you are spellcasters, although the bards can use their rapier, and there's a druid spell called Shillelagh, which can turn you into a melee fighter, or you can use Wild Shape theoretically, although you're not the Juniper is not the kind of druid that benefits from that particularly. I don't think so. Or yeah, not yet. You actually haven't chosen your druid kind. Anyway. So Vimble, you hide on your turn. I mean, it's a pretty easy solution. You just dive into one of the piles of sand here, and these are just like dueling mole mounds. Pretty funny. And now it is the enemy's turn. Red blasted it last turn, so it's going to do what it tried to do to Dio, and yellow thin tendrils, 3 of them, rise up out of the soil and try to grab Red, who's going to try to make a saving throw here. Oh, 7. Red fails that save bad. The yellow tendrils, one goes like in an ear hole, one grabs her wrist, and one like grabs her around the throat. And it seems to almost like take control of her in some way. if we get to the end of the order here, Red is going to start blasting the team as the tendrils puppeteer her. Xana, your turn.
All right, so they have Red. She's up in the air. All right, I use rapier. Like, I've never done a melee thing before, so here we go.
Uh-huh.
I want you guys to imagine this is a bedazzled rapier. And right now it's matching my outfit, which I changed for underground. It's all blue. So the rapier's blue. It's bedazzled. And I want you guys to imagine this with the energy of like Paris Hilton being like, oh my God, like, what is this? A rapier? I love it. And she just...
You got it off of ye old Etsy, canonically.
Yeah. Well, no, I got it. And then I got it bedazzled from, like, I sent it in to be bedazzled and they sent it back.
So proficiency plus dexterity bonus on a d20. Let's see if you hit.
12.
Yeah, that actually does hit.
Yay! Okay, like, I'm swiping away at the tendrils, making Red fall down.
D8 plus 3 for the damage. A thing you noticed, Dio, when the thing tried to grab you and it was just wearing this purple cloak and purple hat, it didn't seem to be particularly armored if these hit rolls sound low.
So I got hit 8.
Wow, 8 damage, almost as much as Red's gun as you plunge the rapier. Now, are you say?
No, I'm not plunging. I'm delicately slashing.
Delicately slashing.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you cut a tendril or two, and the thing, the sliced tendrils pull back into the earth, but you do not regain control of Red because that's not how this ability works.
Oh.
Concentration checks. Should we just explain this to the audience, huh?
We probably should. Why don't you go ahead, DM?
This is great. So in 5th edition, the most powerful spells are concentration spells. They're ongoing effects, but to balance their power, when you get hit, you can lose concentration and lose them. And so you have to roll a save to try to maintain the DC, or difficulty class, for the check is 10 or half the damage you take, whichever is higher. So I took 8, half of that would be 4, but 10 is higher. So I have to beat 10. Here we go. 12. Enemy saves, so they still have control of Red.
Okay, so is it now Juniper's turn in that case?
It is now Juniper's turn. I'm glad we got that tutorial in there because famously, Dice Funk, we never forget concentration checks. We're very good at them.
Never. Right.
That's awesome.
So I'd really like to not have Red shooting at us. So Juniper's going to try casting Entangle. So that's that is also a concentration spell. A creature in the area when I cast the spell must succeed on a strength saving throw. I'm hoping for low strength.
11.
Okay, 13 is my spell save DC. So the creature is restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Which, right now, the plan is restrain Red so Red cannot start firing at us.
I will read restrained. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So that's what you were aiming for. Also, the creature has disadvantage on dex saves. So,
and basically every turn they can attempt to use their turn to do a strength roll to try and break free.
All right. Dio, you see Red get entangled by all these vines Juniper summons. What do you do?
I mean, I don't want to seem one note by saying I blast, but
You're a warlock. It's your patron-given right to blast.
Yeah. Look, certain classes like this, like Ranger, you take them and you do so knowing you're just gonna do the thing in combat.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yep.
17.
Absolutely hits.
Oh shit, that was the wrong thing. This thing. 10 damage.
All right. So you once again fire your Eldritch Blast into the spot in the soil where Vimble threw a dart to mark. But this time, there is an oomph and the tendrils retract from Red. In fact, I like the dynamic of this is like Red is tangled up in the vines as Juniper is summoning them. Red, against her will, starts like turning towards Juniper with the duckfoot pistol like on her knuckles, like slowly turning it towards Juniper, gonna like shoot her in the face as
You can't shoot me in the face. I'm cute.
as she's struggling against the vines, and it's just like at any moment maybe she'll get through the vines, because after your turn, Dio, was Red, and it was going to be like, does Dio blast Juniper in the face? But then you Eldritch point blank the enemy in the dirt, and all the tendrils retract in pain, and the chamber goes silent as whatever it is stops trying to control Red. And you have one combat.
Whoa. My blasting saved the day.
Yeah.
I did good blasting.
Yeah, for the audience who can't see the order, yeah, that was the last chance to win that fight before Red started doing her thing. So there's a silence falls over the dirt chamber. Do you all just stand silently and wait?
Dio dives in and starts digging in the dirt.
dig.
That's what they were doing in the first place. They carry on.
Dark Justice is gonna emerge from the dirt and go on, Dio. You've earned it.
I stand on Dio's back and act as a manager to make sure Dio's being efficient.
Also, does anyone have any healing?
I'm
very close to death.
I can do cure wounds.
All right, so this is perfect. Juniper, you can heal Vimble in the background, who was hit by an avalanche of rocky dirt, while Xana in the foreground is standing on Dio as you dig. So that's a great image.
I'm wearing heels, by the way.
Right.
Naturally.
You can roll 1d8 plus 3 and heal that amount.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be full no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like I'm acting like the rock slide was I'm I'm just glad that I was the one to take the brunt of that, so that everyone else is okay.
Because you're so strong.
Yeah.
So Dio, you're digging down into this dirt, and you come across a person who has been shot with a gun and eldritch blasted twice, and they're buried beneath you. I will put an image of them in the roll 20, and you can tell me what you see.
My baby!
It's a guy, but not a guy. It's a guy. It would appear to be a guy based on the clothes that have been assembled together, except that from the sleeve of the clothes is goop, resembling a slime, a yellow-colored slime, like honey that Winnie the Pooh would be interested in. And the goop is stretching across to touch a little hamsect in the drawing. It's very adorable, actually. The fan artist did a really good job with these. Once again, really cool art.
I feel like I'm there.
For reference, all of these seasons of Dice Funk are standalone stories, but if you happened to listen to last season, oh hey, you might be aware of some yellow slime that maybe there's a connection going on.
This came out of my brain's birth canal.
Actually, I know a good way to explain. It's like, you know how the Invisible Man might wear clothes, and that's how you can tell where he is? It's like slime in the clothes.
So this is a creature called a plasmoid, which is from Spelljammer, a Dungeons and Dragons setting, but it is a slime person. We've been referring to the fact that there is a precedent for this, but they're like a yellowy slime made. It's called dog's vomit. Sorry, that is what literally the creature is called, a dog's vomit slime mold. But vaguely human shaped. But as we discussed, they have kind of a Vivi from Final Fantasy IX thing going on, where their actual body is mostly shrouded in this outfit. So you only kind of get the impression of them.
It seems as if how they're filling it. You know how slime would inhabit dead bodies? It seems they're just inhabiting it clothes instead. To hold like a water balloon, but their clothes are holding their body in.
A sentient water balloon of goop.
Yeah.
Episode title.
I mean, you saw what almost happened to Red there, so you know that they can inhabit some people if they so choose. But this person,
Why are they choosing that?
well, Hey, this is the part of D&D where we talk to characters.
What happened to my children? Why did they decide this? We had a whole character arc.
They also chose to live down here and be poor, so, they make a lot of bad choices.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm learning a lot about choice today.
So Dio, that's what you find is this person buried under the ground. They appear to be mostly made of yellow goop, but they are wearing clothes, which give them a kind of humanoid outline. What do you do?
Your clothes are fire.
I'd like to, I guess, I'd like to pick them up, but that's gonna. Well, okay, Sophie knows it's going to present an issue, but like,
Are they gonna spill out?
are you saying that they're unconscious essentially? Like we knocked them out with my excellent blasting, with how good my blasting was?
So you did not reduce this character's HP to 0. You reduced it so far that I made a role-playing choice for them not to fight anymore. So no, they are not unconscious. They're
okay.
just,
okay.
I don't know how many times any of you have been punched in the face, but you can be conscious and also not really fighting anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I go, hi, I'm Dio.
Hello. My name is Fortunato.
Why is he sexy?
Because some Moon Stars had ASMR voice.
Oh yeah.
They were the ASMR ASMR.
Yeah, but
This
their
is-
name's like like a sexy name and everything, and they got a hat. Like
Yeah, they're their own separate, different person.
Hello, Fortuno. I like your hat.
It's nice to meet you. I don't know why you tried to murder us, but hi.
Yes. So, what you see emerging from the sleeve of this person's outfit is a long, gooey hand, which kind of snakes around their head and then like tips their fancy hat to you in like an unnecessarily gross kind of gesture. The hat, though, I want to draw special attention to. It is a large brimmed hat, kind of like the one Zorro wears in the Zorro films.
yo, why is this slime sexy? Why has it got a sexy voice and like a name?
Was
and
Slime not sexy last season? I feel like it's just carrying on the continuity.
Slime is inherently sexy.
Google tells me it's called a sombrero cordobés is the name of this kind of hat. But it is a very interesting hat that draws your attention more in a way that DMs sometimes do when things are important. And this character says, I was told to stay here and guard the chamber.
what's in the chamber?
Secrets.
Can I get the vibe of the hat?
Yeah, the vibe. What is the vibe of the hat roll?
I'm deciding it's insight, and I rolled 11.
Yeah, I don't know if 11 is above average, but this isn't an average hat. This is a much nicer hat than average. So you just get that it's a nice hat. Fortunato says, my hat was passed down to me by my family, who saved all creation and then stole from a bastard shopkeeper.
Who told you to kill anyone who came and try and attack anyone who came in here, not knowing that we shouldn't be in here? What's up?
At this point, you're having enough of a normal conversation that Fortunato steps up out of the hole. It kind of flows. Their body doesn't move. Like it has no bones.
I want to marry him. I love him.
So
I've
it's
created
not.
my own love. Is this Twilight? I don't.
So they're not bound by normal movements. They kind of flow to their feet in a very fluid manner, and they say, the research team from the old world, they found secrets left by the old gods, dangerous ones, and tasked me with protecting them from marauders and thieves. And they look at you all accusingly as if you are Lara Croft Tomb Raider motherfuckers.
What is a marauder?
For what it's worth, we are here doing research. We were sent by the university. We're aware we're not the first group. How long ago was there a previous group here? Were they recent, or...?
Yeah, so I think Red mentioned to you all earlier that you were not the first research group, and you exchange information here. I don't want to belabor this exposition because we could go into it. You all know these other researchers.
Yeah.
There's in fact one from each of the universities, Shard Point, Goodfellas, and Kalthinian. And like I won't give you their whole CVs now, but I'll say that you three each recognize the person from your own school, and you're like, oh fuck these folks. We can talk about your relationships with them when they appear.
Well, I mean, specifically the reason why I'm asking is like we were told by Red, people go into this forest and don't come back, generally. And we have also been told that the previous research teams got here and sort of haven't been seen. And I think what Juniper's trying to get at is, you know, it was this like, 20 minutes ago they told you to guard the room, or was this, it was like a month ago and they might just be dead?
Yeah, so Fortunato tells you it was a couple of days ago. So this is like a situation where if you wanted to catch up, it would be like a fun chase season, a kind of an around the world in 80 days, a steel ball run. It's a mad world kind of situation, like the premise of like a fun action season.
We could be chasing after them in their footsteps, try and be like, no, we're going to do the research.
But yeah, so you exchange that information. Do you want to impress upon Fortunato that you're not tomb raiding motherfuckers, or do you like whatever? We don't care.
100%. Like Juniper's jumping to the point of like, oh hey, university owner's child is here. Like we're research types.
Well, I mean, that does not at all preclude from being a Tomb Raider, but...
No, but Juniper's hoping that you won't bring that angle up.
I was the first person born in the new world.
Nice.
And I would die to protect it.
Well, yeah, I get that. Can you be any more specific what's going on back there that's... dangerous? Like, what's going on? Because we're also here to research for the university, and it would be helpful to know, like, is this, we found infinite energy source, but it's very hot, don't go near it, or is it like, oh no, there's a monster in there who's going to eat your face? Like, what variety of dangerous don't go in there are we dealing with?
Fortunato points downward. Once again, arm elongates, 10 feet in one direction, up, curls around, and then down to point below your feet, and says, "The answers are in the earthen chamber below. I cannot stop you now."
Can I try and intimidate him into telling us?
Wait, I got the persuasion and I'm the smooth talker.
I'm just gonna try intimidating him.
Oh my god.
I'm in -2 in persuasion. Or intimidation. I'm only trying to fail that.
I'm doing deception. I'm doing it.
Tell us where they are! Or tell us what's in there!
Okay. So the 15, Vimble, it's not that you're extremely intimidating, like you said, -2, but you did just win a fight. There are 5 of you, and one of them, you are extremely armed.
Also, like, I'm, like, just, like, wearing, like, everyone else looks like a university student, and I'm just, like, in a cloak and cowl, brandishing, like, a bunch of knives. Like, I'm not saying that makes me scary. I'm saying that makes me look insane.
Yeah. Fortunato is unarmed. You can see that they just have this like purple cloak and purple hat. They are, because they're made of goo, they can like seep through earth and like use their tendrils to cause avalanches or like invade people, kind of take them over as you saw with Red, but otherwise unarmed. So when you come on that strong, they just say, "The chamber below reveals the secrets of the gods and the discoveries to be made. They're priceless. Whoever discovers these secrets will control the new world."
Awesome, let's go.
With great power comes great opportunity to be a fancy academic who knows about stuff first.
Or start like a World Bank type situation.
Yeah, the IMF over here is
Yeah.
Cool. Love that. Let's go.
I mean, that is the thing, is that, Juniper, the secrets of the world are of genuine scholarly interest to you. The secrets of the new world can empower Vimble. Dio's just along for the ride, but Xana's motivations still a mystery, and that's interesting to me.
The power to help people.
I just think that we could really help that town that we were in by setting up some sort of structural adjustment policies.
Xana, do you say that out loud? Because I think at this point nobody in the group really has a great handle on your motivations.
Oh yeah, it's the power to help people help themselves with my help.
Okay.
But Fortunato, I think that you should be my personal bodyguard because you're supposed to be protecting treasure or whatever. But obviously, we're moving on, and so you don't have any treasure to continue to protect. But if you look at me and I stroke the mushroom on my head, thankfully I put that on.
I forgot. I forgot about the fucking mushroom.
I stroke it, just being I love mold. And I'm I think you should come with us and protect me. I mean us, but me.
So Juniper failed the persuasion check and Vimble succeeded on the intimidation check. So I think Fortunato is not inclined to help or join
Deception.
you at this point?
I'm in. No, I did it. I already did it.
Oh my god.
I rolled it. 21.
21. That is really great, and I want to honor that roll. How does this look? Because you rolled deception specifically.
The mushroom kind of messes them up, and they're maybe they're curious.
They're staring at the mushroom. You're my eyes are down here.
Yeah, they just love my fashion sense.
Yeah.
And then they're yeah, maybe she, they've just lost the entire purpose of their life for however long they've been here.
All right, you're jumping to a lot of conclusions here, and I also don't think I'm wearing a mushroom. Your argument is invalid. Is really going to fly.
You asked me, so I just started coming up with ideas.
I'm wearing a mushroom. You've been deceived and fooled and tricked. This is not the top of my head at all.
They don't know. It's a subconscious thing. When women wear a push-up bra. It's not the whole deal, but...
Oh my god.
It helps. It obviously does something.
If I'm following everything you said, the specific deception was that you are a treasure that Fortunato should be guarding.
Yes, that's the deception. Not that I'm a mushroom. It's just the mushroom helps.
Can I assist at all and be it seems like you need some structure and some guidance.
This whole world is my life, not just this chamber.
Okay, but I'm in this world. So come on, let's go.
We're here to learn about this world, and I can't speak for anyone else, but I really want this world to stay how it seems to be safe and good now. It seems like we have aligned goals, at least.
You explained to Fortunato that you have the best interests of the world at heart.
I do think that, yeah.
And Red's well, I don't.
Wait, Red doesn't what?
Doesn't have the best interests? They just tell the truth.
Yeah, Red's I came along because I was promised that this little man here would give me a position of power.
Look, we're all here under the capacity of the university, or to eventually be under the capacity of the university.
I don't want to be under the capacity of the university.
And its affiliated financial institutions.
I don't want to be under that either.
And I just want the power to make people help themselves. And help themselves.
Red starts digging the soil out of the way from wherever this chamber everyone's talking about.
Yeah. Well, like maybe if this guy helped us and worked harder, he wouldn't have to live in a place like this, made better choices in his life.
Xana just slowly walks over because you're a gnome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then she just puts her foot on your head and just pushes it into the ground.
Wow.
Dio digs as well.
All right, so as Xana plants Vimble into the dirt, Red and Dio just dig up the door to the chamber at the bottom of this room, and it has the same locking mechanism as the big door that brought you here, and you already know the combination. It's ceremonial, so you just turn the murals until it clicks.
I did a strength saving throw. Is 11 enough to get out of the ground after being put in there, or no?
I'm standing on your head
yeah.
Still.
Oh, okay, so then I would say almost definitely no, right?
But yeah, I would say we could either say no for comedy, or Xana could contest that with her own strength.
I get advantage though, right? Because I'm the one standing.
That's between you and Sam. I'm not going to tell you how to step on each other.
Okay, strength competition. You're probably going to win.
Oh my god.
I have very little strength. I have -1 strength.
All right, now me too. So 12, you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so
12 beats 11.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're just squirming and it's just standing there with my foot on your head.
Release me.
The two -1 strength party members.
I hope you two are having fun with whatever it is you're doing here. We'll leave you to have your own little mini side podcast.
When Dio is done putting the combination into the door at the bottom of the digging, they come over and grab Dark Justice by the head and just pull him out.
Thank you, Dio.
If you stand up to go help Vimble, Red just slides down through the door and is gone.
Okay. Yeah. Still holding up Dio by the head. Still holding up Vimble by the head. Dio looks around and sees that Red's disappeared and says,
"Oh no, Red's gone."
and then walks into the doorway as well, still holding Vimble by the head.
Okay. Yeah, everybody goes. I think even after a while, after a moment's hesitation, Fortunato goes as well. He's standing there. He's like, should I? I already know. Oh, yeah, fine. And then actually almost turns into a gooey snake to go down, just loses individual limb and kind of slinks down. Like a slinky down into the lower chamber.
So they're naked now?
No, they're in the clothes. They're being a slinky.
So the clothes just bundle up in the slime.
Yeah, they're the slime mold is sticky enough that it can adhere to their body.
Nice.
So yeah, she gets down into the chamber with the rest of you. There's a couple steps behind, but when you're catching up to Red, and you see that this chamber is even wilder than the last. It's overgrown. There's full on plants down here. The ceiling of this place, once again, is made out of earth, but it's just rife with all kinds of roots. Juniper, you were oh, let's go underground to see some roots. This is your shit. You are in heaven here. But it's
oh god, Juniper's already taking notes, doing sketches. There's so many diagrams happening of roots.
It's funny because if you weren't wanted for murder, you probably oh, I have enough information here to go home and publish a book that would make me famous in my field. Already I've accomplished great things, but there is a smashed orc man who probably is going to make that difficult. So
Oh, I mean, he's not, but
yeah. There's always people trying to stand in the way of progress, you know?
Oh Lord. But this chamber has like full on grass. It is like carpeted. There's like a meadow
what?
almost. Huh?
There's no, sorry, I was just being like, as a joke, overly excited about grass.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I think earlier someone already kind of called it. If the first chamber was Gaia, this is Sylvanus, god of nature.
Yeah, I said that it would be full of animals, and then the other one would be full of elves.
There are no animals. It's interesting. It's Gaia, the protogenoi of Earth, Sylvanus, god of nature. But it was very like soil based. It's very much ground and not so much animals. Because there are gods of animals who you assume have chambers full of animals somewhere.
Okay, but there's gonna be like piles of elves in the next one, right?
Well, here's the thing. You made a history and religion checks. Nobody really knows who or what Hallis is, so feel free to speculate. But here's what's in this chamber that's very interesting: is there's a huge tree in the center. When I say huge, it fits in this basement area, so it can't be that big. But it almost is like an optical illusion, where like it seems to go up far higher than it should be able to. It kind of makes you ill to look at it.
Can I use like my like perception to like not get ill while I look at it?
Sure. Yeah.
4.
Oh boy. You take 4 damage, and you fall to your knees. You look too directly at the tree.
Do I die?
You fall unconscious.
Oh no!
Also, he doesn't fall to his knees because I'm holding him up by the head.
Vimble, do you just look at a tree so hard you died?
Juniper can't do cure wounds again, but Juniper will go over and just like start slapping Vimble on the face to try and be like, "Hey, wake up, you unconscious fool."
I'll give him a little shake.
Is Dio empty?
Dio just like wiggles him by the head a little.
I mean, this is very funny. There is a mechanic. You can just roll hit dice to get your health back, so you're fine.
Okay.
Juniper is slapping you awake.
Was it like made you think too much and that was too much for your brain? Like, what was that?
I feel like I'm just like a very like sickly like it's like very like classic like rich kid just like
sickly
like,
Victorian child. Huh? Like a sickly Victorian child.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like just looking at something too big like made him nauseous, and that like threatened to kill him.
As soon as Vimble is conscious again, Juniper is gonna walk over and go, It's okay. I know how you feel. I got a little lightheaded the first time I saw a interconnected root system too. I know it's a little overwhelming and beautiful.
I go, there's a root system too, and then almost puke.
Did you say you puke?
It's pretty funny because there's something in each of the 3 chambers, and I thought the combat in the first one would be the biggest threat, but it was definitely just looking at a tree that was much more dangerous.
Look, trees are fucking beautiful. Juniper 100% genuinely believes that Vimble has seen a very beautiful root system and has been overcome with the beauty of nature.
No, like it's like, you know, like how like the idea of like the like sublime is like this scary thing where it's like something that's too big for like the human mind to like comprehend or see all of. That legitimately does like physically harms Vimble.
The tree goes, "Be not afraid."
It's, you know, you're not that far off. So Vimble, you can roll hit dice or die in your level 1 character's case to not die in this episode. But while you're recovering, everyone else, you can look at the tree kind of indirectly, and it is truly massive in a way that sublime is the only word that comes to mind. But the space, something's wrong with it. The tree is too big for the space it's in, and it's really tripping you out. and Red like circles around and goes to look for another door.
Am I? Is it only Vimble who's this affected by it?
Vimble was the only one who rolled to look directly at it. I assume the rest of you are like, we should not do that.
I mean, at this point, I feel like Juniper has to try and take in the majesty of the big tree. What do I roll to look at the big tree?
Oh god, total party kill from looking at tree.
Did you listen to the new season of Dice Book? They all died in episode 4 for looking at a tree.
Austin, what do I roll to look at the big tree?
Can you roll nature for me?
Yeah.
I still have, like, again, Dio doesn't fully understand this, but I still have protection against good and evil going on, and I was just curious if this would fall under the categories there, like if the influence of this thing is kind of holy.
Oh, that's a great question. So Juniper just rolled a 17 on nature.
Yeah.
So
I'm real good at looking at trees.
so you look at this tree, and you, I think, for you, this is like as close to a religious experience as you've ever had. I don't know if your character is religious. I assume anyone who's not a cleric and paladin isn't, but it's not.
Look, I think that Juniper would describe herself as spiritual. She went on a gap year once, and she came back with some definitely not like stealing other cultures' stuff and just sort of rattling it off interspersed as like these are sort of spiritual beliefs.
But I was gonna say, like, if you were the person who, for whom nature is like the highest calling, this may as well be Yahweh, because what you're seeing is a vision of the Yggdrasil.
For Juniper, this is a religious fucking experience that is happening here. In that case, I know I rolled real high. I feel like Juniper's gonna have to, regardless, take a minute to take this in. This is nature as creation, as the basis of existence. This is the world tree. Nature doesn't get much more than this.
It doesn't, and it's not the true Yggdrasil, obviously, because of just the scale of the thing. But it feels like like you're in the presence of like just a shard of it in some way, and like you're trying to process this, and in the background you hear a click as Red turns the murals on the door to the next chamber, and all of a sudden all of the light in this chamber disappears in an instant. Just snap, you're all plunged into darkness.
Could you turn that back for just like a couple seconds? I don't know if you've looked at this tree. It's a real good tree.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
I have I could learn so much from this thing.
Red says, I don't know how, partner. I didn't mean to. And then before she could finish the sentence, a light begins to come up almost in a stage sense. The chamber starts filling with light again. And you see where there once was this shard of the Yggdrasil, there it's like literally just a tiny piece of bark on the ground in the grass, like just a fleck from like the trunk of the true tree was here. And that's what your mind was attempting to comprehend when you took in the full majesty of this thing, and it bent Vimble's mind around in and on itself and nearly killed him.
Can I take the piece of tree?
Yeah, Juniper, with the fucking most audacious badass move of the season, kneels down and picks up the shard of the Yggdrasil.
Look, Juniper's not going to turn down a piece of the world tree if it's right here. I found a piece. This is like, I've stumbled upon a piece of the Jesus crucifixion cross. I'm taking this with me, and I'm going to hold it and have a spiritual experience go on for a minute.
I mean, damn, Laura, this is the second full court swish, 3-point, nothing but net. Damn, really got my number this ep. You pick up the shard. Yeah,
I'm having a good day today.
You pick up the shard, and the lights come up fully in this chamber as something is projected here. It's like a magical or maybe even technological projection, although none of you, being people born into a post-apocalypse, really understand like what projection or, simulation or, light shows would be. To you, it's all magic.
I feel like Xana would understand projection.
So you see the primordial soil. You see Gaia, just this monster. Monster is like, maybe in hindsight, at the time she is like all that exists, and from that grows the Yggdrasil, this tree that holds all creation in its branches. And you're all seeing this unfold before you, and none of you have ever seen a film. You're like medieval peasants, so it's just like, oh, this is like what it's like to like stare into the well of creation and see the Big Bang. And my mind is being melted as the Yggdrasil like blooms out of the soil, and there is a realm, a plane in each branch of existence. And you see on each of these planes there are these little figures, these gods. You see, the Dungeons and Dragons has all of the historical pantheons. If you open up the player handbook, it has, Zeus and Ra and Cuchulainn. It has all of the mythologies from our world, and also has its own mythology. Gruumsh, god of orcs, and Lolth, god of spiders, Garl Glittergold, god of gnomes, all of those. And there's all these gods, the second generation of gods after the primordial protogenoi of like Gaia and Nyx, Kronos. And so that's the first generation of gods, and then the second. And then you see the tree getting sick and wilting, and the plains collapsing, and the gods dying. And then there's a third generation of gods who are just people, just regular elves and dwarves and humans and gnomes. I don't know if any of you all roll very poorly on this, so you don't really fully grasp this third generation of gods in character. But you see, as the Yggdrasil gets sick and withers, all its branches are collapsing, and in the rotten trunk, this third generation of gods save what they can from the branches and store it in the trunk, filling up the dead stump with the, what can be saved. This is the old world where all of you, came from. This is like what you've known. And then you see all of this third generation of gods gather around on like the lip of the rotten trunk, on the top of it. And this is the secrets that are down in here, as you see each of these third generation of gods, dozens of them. You've god of animals, god of earth, god of light, god of birds. Each one explodes into like glowing particles which settle over the top of the trunk, sealing it off with a flat surface.
So our flat Earth exists on top of a tree stump.
Absolutely. Arabella is the stopper on top, the flat Earth on top of the old world, which is sealed in the trunk of the Yggdrasil. But as you see each of the third generation of gods like explode into light, then their body just erupt into particles and then settle down on the trunk, you see each of the little realms, little areas in the new world. They're not like uniform, like a chessboard. There's like little splotches here, circles there, squares here, strange peninsulas there, but each one made apparently from the last generation of gods. It's not just that the gods created the new world. They are the new world.
Ah.
Are they still conscious? Can we drink their blood?
Oh my god, I can't believe Mari just said that. Fuck.
Can we?
Fuck.
That's what I've been thinking this entire time. What can I try and... can we drink their blood?
I mean, that's...
Is that the next episode?
God damn it, Mari. Fuck. The door lock clicks, or actually it already clicked. The door lock that read opens, the door swings open into the last chamber. And you see I bet that above the door there is another sign in primordial. And Dio, you can read the word. I don't know if you say it to anyone else. And it says reliquary.
Ah.
Xana walks right in. Is there any shining liquids in there?
As you walk in, Fortunato grabs your arm and says, "I wouldn't go in there. The researchers who were here before, they said there was a warning that if you went in, you would be changed forever."
I'm going in. Goodbye.
Yeah, Xana so pulls away from Fortunato and goes into the reliquary chamber. The rest of you turn back as the light show finishes, as you see the creation of the world from the protogenoi to the second generation of gods and the third generation of gods. There is a fourth. If any of you had chosen to play paladin or cleric, we could talk about that, but none of you have, so it's not really worth time thinking about necessarily because it's not going to come up.
I mean, I'm a warlock. I have a patron of some kind. I just have no idea what it is.
That is true. But I will say that information is out there, just none of you know it in character. And also the people who made this chamber wouldn't know because you've just watched them all explode and die. So like they wouldn't know what comes they wouldn't know what comes after them. But at this light show, all of the third generation of gods explode into particles. They create Arabella on the ruins of the old world. But this the last thing you see as Xana's like already walking away is one final god, one person, turns and walks off the edge of the trunk. Not falling, just walks as if on a flat surface, off into the ether somehow, leaving a section of the new world blank.
What do they look like?
They are just like a holographic light image of a humanoid shape. So you do not know, but you get the sense that like, oh, there is like one of these gods left, maybe, or there is at least something worth exploring. Like you see like the edge of them. Like, this isn't a great map. It's not like, oh, I can just scribble down what this light show shows me, and I have a new map of Arabella. It's all very abstract. It's like a bunch of like like an electoral map where it's just big splotches of color. But you're like, oh, if we go in that direction, there is a discovery there that if discovering it will allow our names to echo through history.
Huh.
You assume the research team, the 3 scholars who came here before you, saw that and were like, well, we need to go find that last god. We need to go see that part of Arabella that they didn't complete. Oh my god. And then they saw this chamber, which is like, enter and you will change forever. And they're like, fuck that. Let's go all become rich and famous and discover this and not be changed forever. Xana, do you want to do this? This is cool. I just want Austin Yorsky is saying to Mari, you are making a decision. And it's cool. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. You're pushing the big red button.
Oh, I really feel like you're about to fuck me over, but I kind of just want to be in there. I just want to... Is there a pool in there? Because if so, I'm already in a legally blonde pink bikini with like a beach ball, just laying around in it, like laying in there with my little hamster, my hamsect.
So you go into the last chamber, reliquary. I don't know if Xana, that word holds any meaning for you. I guess you couldn't read the sign anyway. And Red comes after you like, oh no, I want the thing. And so it's like you two entering this chamber, and it is a simple stone chamber. I think there's probably like dirt on the floor, but it's a relatively small chamber, unlike the last couple. And there appears to be a stone coffin. And that is pretty much it. It's just a coffin in the center of the room. It's a big heavy lid, but there is then an inscription on it that says, "The one who opens this sarcophagus will be changed forever."
Does anybody want to be changed forever in any way?
I mean,
Like,
I
in
am
some ways.
fascinated to find out what's in there, but also I don't want to hog all of the life-changing moments. And I'm pretty sure I have a piece of the world tree here. So I feel like I've done my having a life-changing moment for the day. I probably shouldn't hog all of them. That seems like a bad plan.
I hope all of our bodies are gonna like morph into one.
Wait, no, I only just got this body. I don't want that.
The rest of the season is just the end of Inside.
Yeah.
So put yourself, the person, outside. Do you think your character? Because
she would just grab it.
Because this is the thing.
Well, then go ahead.
Because when you said a second ago, like my character walks in and goes for it. That seemed like that's what your character would do.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize, like, metagame wise, I'd be taking from other people. That's all.
Metagame wise, don't worry about that. If it seems in character and you feel confidently that's what your character would do, it's better for the narrative to confidently state that that's what your character would do than to worry about too much metagamey stuff.
Okay, so Xana just slaps it open, grabs whatever's inside. I'm assuming it's a drink. And drinks it.
Oh god, I know what this is gonna be. I think maybe.
Do you? That would be incredible.
For some reason, look, you've mentioned a reliquary, and the mental image I have is you're gonna open a sarcophagus and drink from the fucking Holy Grail is where my mind's at now.
So the word reliquary obviously just means something that holds a relic.
Yeah.
Do we know what the word relic means? Because it's often used interchangeably with like artifact to mean like an old thing. That's not the strictly religious significance of the word relic.
Isn't it usually like physically like the remains of saints and stuff? It's a relic would be like you dug up something from like Paul from the Gospel of, or like something of like a religious artifact that's mentioned.
Okay, what's in the box?
So as soon as it's open, a crack enough to see, something lashes out at you from inside and like strikes you, Xana, in the face, and you stumble back, and everyone sees what appears to be the circulatory system of a humanoid body.
Is that on my face, or?
It is. So veins and arteries. You said you were like, I want to drink the blood. You get more than you bargained for, because the remains of the god of nature, the third generation god, Hallis, their earthly remains.
I grab the heart.
You grab the heart?
I grab the heart and bite into it. And my mouth opens up a little too far, like farther than you think should be. And then my teeth are just a little bit too sharp, and it's up to you guys to see if you want to notice that or not. But that's okay. It's a little bit too, my mouth opens just a little bit too far, and my teeth are just a little bit too sharp. And then I bite into it, and I start sucking the blood out of the circulatory system.
I was going to say you grab the heart and the heart grabs you back, because if you start...
it's like a loving... Okay, it's lovingly giving me the blood as I suck it out.
You start biting into the heart and all this system of veins. This was Hallis, who was an elf man in life, but was also a third generation god.
So he's into it.
Their circulatory system begins merging with you. The veins and the arteries plunge into your body as your teeth plunge into the heart. And everyone watches in presumably horror as Xana becomes one with it. It essentially sinks in through your skin, not leaving a mark or wound. And maybe you're covered in blood when it's over.
Yeah, like down my chin, but in like a hot way.
Dio isn't horrified. They're really just observing.
But otherwise, there is no indication that anything bad happened to you. Xana, you gained 2 levels.
I saw a spark against the dark, and we erupt, but it's a slow burn. We take our chance and start to dance, can see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down. But we're a bonfire, we keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire, I keep putting in, you keep putting in. I take your hand, but you demand a different love, a different touch. So off we go to burn below. The kindling wasn't quite enough.